everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about how to mix skin tones in watercolor and in gouache. And today I will be using Koi Sakura watercolor in 24 sets, and I also do have here the Hemi gouache, and I do have it here on the side. So here beside me is a DIY frame palette. I do have the water one, which is already used, the microfiber towel, so you can save up a lot of tissue. So if you're actually learning portrait and learning to paint portrait, this one is for you. So let's get started. Decided to change my palette here so that I'll have enough window to show you when I'm mixing the color, but we're going to start with Aureolin yellow and Cadmium red in watercolor. So this is the Aureolin yellow and the Cadmium red. So I'm going to take the yellow, and the Cadmium red here. So if you mix it, you'll have this color. And the way that you adjust this is you add more yellow so that it's yellow undertone, and you add more cadmium red if you want it reddish. But skin tones, it's actually never red. Always has a tinge of yellow underneath, and therefore when you're painting the base, you don't want that to be so reddish. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the paper. And so with watercolor, you can adjust the shade by adding more water to make it brighter. So we have that orangey, and I'm just gonna add a little bit more water. And if I'll go ahead and add more water, it's just basically really transparent. And most artists do this when they're starting the portrait painting as the base color. So the next one is yellow ochre, and then Crimson Lake. Crimson Lake is kind of pinkish. It's like a rosy red. So let's put that on our paper. So the yellow, and then the Crimson Lake. Mix this too. You'll have a more orangey color. So again, you can just adjust and maybe add a little bit more yellow to it or more red to it. See, so you can achieve almost similar color, but if I add orange, if I add the Crimson Lake, this is what I'm gonna get. It's a warmer orangey color, and basically that's what you're gonna, that's blah. That's what you're gonna wanna aim for. And then I'll just add water, a little bit water to my mixture, so I can go a little lighter. That's it. And more water, and so that's how it will look. So again, to achieve the shadow, the midtones, or darker shade, just add a tinge of blue to the mixture, and voila, this is what you're gonna get. So I think I had so much blue there. Here we go. It's almost purplishy, if that's even a term. So this is the color. And then you're gonna want to add water to it to tone it down. And I'm gonna add more water. So you see, those are 3 dark colors. So the third one is permanent yellow. And then Quinacridone red. Right, and I'm gonna share you this one more tip. This is actually, for your reference, it's really dark. I mean, the skin tone is really dark. So in the watercolor, you're gonna want to get the Crimson Lake, and then the permanent green, deep green. That's how it looks. Right. And then the burnt umber. And a lot of brands has this color, so don't really have to worry about that. Burnt umber is just really like looks like, you know, brown. So if you mix that 3 together, you create this pretty grayish brown skin tone. So again, that's just burnt umber, red, and deep green. So this is actually the color that I want to achieve right here. If I put it here, that's the darkest you can go. And if you add blue to it, blue or black is how I make the value darker, but I want to avoid using black right away, so I tend to resort to blue instead. So let's see. There's no difference though, but I think you just have to like add more in the mixture. So this could be your shadow. And that's basically it for watercolor. remember that if you want to go brighter, you just add water. If you want to go darker, just add blue to it. Ultramarine or phthalo blue is what you'd like to use. Maybe you can use other blues, but I haven't tried that. You can test it out for yourself anyway. So let's proceed with gouache. So I'm gonna try to do the same with gouache, so you'll know how you can mix up the color, because there's a little bit of difference when it comes to changing the value in gouache. So in watercolor you add water to make it bright. I rarely use white in watercolor because it makes the color more opaque and less transparent. So when mixing colors, I do have trouble. I get into trouble with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use just similar colors in gouache. So I'll try maybe, hold on a second. So in gouache, we'll start with earth yellow. Let me just spray my paint here. So this is how it looks. Just gonna go ahead and paint that right away. And then rose. So rose is a pinkish red or rose. I mean, what? Okay, so if you mix the two, I should be using less water here. Rose is kind of strong, hence you wanna just add a little to the mixture and focus on yellow, and this is what you're gonna get. Kind of orangey brown, so it's warm actually. And then it's what I mentioned earlier, unlike watercolor, in gouache you want to use white to make the shade lighter or the value lighter. So in this mixture, I'm just gonna get here small portion and mix white and put that on my paper. And this is a peachy, it's like Jaune Brilliant. I love this color, actually it's my favorite of all. And you're gonna want to add more white if you really want to go lighter. And this is what you want to use when starting your painting in gouache. So it's really light. And just like watercolor, you can just go ahead and add blue as well. So I will add ultramarine blue to my mixture and see how that looks. So if you notice, this is actually a darker shade. Let's go ahead and do that one more time just so we can put emphasis on the color and you'll see it clearly. Alright, and then add blue. And if I add white to the mixture. This is how it looks. Maybe I still have that remains of this mixture, that's why it looks like this. Not sure if you can see that clearly though. Here we go. And then more white. I really want to go really light. You almost don't see the color, but that's really like the base of all base. So the second combination is deep red and medium yellow. Let's start with the medium yellow. And if you mix that together, we do have the earth colors, and sometimes it's also good to use them as your colors to make up a skin tone. So we'll go ahead and use the ochre, and then the burnt umber, so again that's ochre and burnt umber. And if I mix blue, you'll get that perfect gray black color. Grayish. Oops. So these two. So these are basically it. I've done a lot of them and I hope that helps. So this is what we did for the watercolor. This is what I did earlier for the gouache. And here's what we did just now. And I will upload these on my Ko-fi website or page down in the description box below, so you can look into them and use them as your reference. But I hope that this video has been helpful to you. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on my next video. Oh, by the way, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming uploads. Thank you so much, guys. Love you all. Bye.